Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you, and welcome to this 14th episode from the Quran as we reflect on some verses that we listened to tonight in the Taraweeh prayers. At night, every night we listen to many verses recited by the Imams, and I want to select today from the 14th section of the Quran from Surah An-Nahl, the chapter about the honeybees. The honeybees, of course, are known for their importance in our lives. Not only that they produce honey for us, which is very healthy and delicious, but also the fact that they pollinate many plants, and studies have been done about the honeybees and their importance for agriculture. And it was interesting when I was a child, I wondered, why did Allah choose to name a chapter, a surah in the Quran, about after the honeybees? You know, I liked the honeybees. I didn't like their stinging, but I liked their honey. And I had an older brother who used to keep bees and give us, natural honey. So growing up, I enjoyed eating the honey and watching the honeybees buzz around and go over the fields and pick from roses and flowers all over our yard and the neighbors, and come back to deposit that nectar into their build-ups. And when I read this surah, I realized that Allah included the story of the honeybees and their importance because it is an example of His ability. Often we think of ourselves as human beings as the top of the creation, that we are the smartest, the best, the most organized, most intelligent. But are we really? When you look at how the honeybees, their societies are organized, how their system works, you can say perfectly, you're amazed. And you say, with their tiny little brains, how could they figure out what to do and how to do it? And who programmed them to do that? Who organized them? Who watches them over? And that is a sign from Allah. So here in the Quran, in verse 68, we read, وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ. Your Lord inspired the honeybees. أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا. Take from the mountains as homes. وَمِنَ الشَّجَرِ. And from the trees. وَمِمَّا يَعْرِشُونَ. And from what the people, prepare for you. And that is the interesting thing, that the honeybees can interact with the humans, and they would go along with their plans when they make these special homes for them. And yet, naturally, they are able to do that in the mountains as well as on trees. In verse 69, he said, ثُمَّ كُلِي مِن كُلِّ الثَّمَرَاتِ. Then eat from all the fruits. So the honeybees don't just go after one type of fruit or flowers. They get nectar from a variety, and that's why the honey itself has many flavors depending on the variety that exists in the vicinity of the honeybees. فَاسْلُكِي سُبُلَ رَبِّكِ ذُلُلًا. Then follow the designs and the path that your Lord has put for you with humility. يَخْرُجُ مِن بُطُونِهَا شَرَابٌ. From its bellies comes out a drink. مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهُ. With variety of colors and flavors. فِيهِ شِفَاءٌ لِلنَّاسِ. In it there is a healing for the people. I pondered this point, that the honey is a healing for the people, and said, I know it's good food, tastes great, but how is it really healing? It turns out in medicine there are many healing properties for honey. For example, when people experience burns, skin burns, honey is an effective, immediate way to treat burns, to prevent the skin from being destroyed. And I have seen it and I have tried it myself several times. After being burned, I immediately rushed to the honey and covered the burned area with honey, and after treating it for a short time, for a few days, it was completely healed without any scars. And as a matter of fact, it is known that the Russians used honey to cover their wounds after World War I or during World War I to treat it as a natural healing and remedy. So, but it's not just the skin treatment. Honey is a medicine and a treatment for a large number of illnesses and diseases. And that's why we should do research. When God guides us and gives us a pointer that honey is that comes out, the natural honey that comes out from the belly of the honeybees is a healing, we should pursue that. Now I want you to differentiate between real honey and fake honey. There's a lot of sugar water out there in the market, on the store shelves. They call it honey, but really it's not. It is artificial, man-made sugar water made to look like honey. So it may not give you the same healing, and it may not work. It may actually cause problems because you're consuming a large amount of sugar. Artificial honey is not healthy compared to real honey, which has a different type of sugars in it that the body really benefits from. He said, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Said, in that there is a sign for people who think. Here again the Quran draws our attention that we have to think. God gave us the brain to think, to use it, to do research. And that's why I applaud scientists who would take this on, would do their research on the many, many benefits of honey, because we need, healthy, natural treatments instead of all the chemicals that pharmaceuticals push in the market to try, all the types of creams and the types of pills that we take, trying to treat something that perhaps honey is a naturally ready-made treatment for it. And a lot of people can benefit from it. I know growing up with farmers that many farmers, they depend on honey for a variety, not just food, but for treatments. And I would greatly suggest looking into that. But the story of the honeybees and how they're organized, how they organize their society, is one of many stories in this great chapter, Surah Al-Nahl, or the honeybees. And this story has other miracles about the cows and how the milk is made, things that you would not expect a person living 1400 years ago in the desert in Arabia would really understand what is happening and why, these verses that are scientific in nature are mentioned here in the Quran. Only because this Quran was revealed from Allah, the creator of all of these animals and insects and creatures, that He knows about their nature. So we will, inshallah, take more tomorrow and learn about the verses of the Quran illuminating our understanding of what we listen to every night. I appreciate you're watching. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.